Hey everyone, Joe here with the Idaho Prepper channel, and I just got back from town. I did a Costco run and I picked up some supplies at our local co-op. So it's just some things that I thought might be of interest to some of you. These are things that I know always become in short supply or skyrocket in price as we approach winter, or especially as we approach an election season, especially one that is as charged as the one we're going into. So also, there's some things that I placed on the table that I didn't pick up today, but are representative of some of the things that you should be stocking up on now before 2024. So stay tuned. This should be a good one. All right, so first up, I got a couple bags of chicken feed. Now, this chicken feed's probably only going to last me for maybe 2 months at the most. It's just kind of representative of things that I have to stock up on before the winter, especially because I know last year we definitely had a spike in the cost of chicken feed, and there was definitely major shortages with the chicken feed. So I thought I'd go ahead and start buying it in bulk now, as opposed to just getting one bag at a time. So if you can afford it and you have chickens or livestock, to try to get as much of their feed as possible before the winter season starts. All right, next up, I got these shovels and I got this Mr. Heater Portable Buddy propane heater. So the shovels are something that I've needed for a while. Basically, I'm just going to keep one in my truck, and the other one I'm going to give my wife. She's going to keep in her vehicle, and that's just in case, we get stuck and you need a shovel to kind of shovel yourself out. I might end up putting one of these on my bug out bag because I don't have a snow shovel for my bug out bag, and it's definitely something I'm going to need for the winter when I winterize my bug out system. The Mr. Heater is definitely something that I've wanted for a really long time, but I just haven't been able to justify the price point. So they had them it was a pretty good deal at Costco. So I just went ahead and picked one up. It's something I mainly wanted because we needed one in case we had to leave our house during the winter and we were in our camper. Maybe we were going camping, something like that. I could have this to kind of heat our pop-up camper. There is a heater in there now, but it's not very reliable, so I wanted to have this as just a backup heat source just in case. So that's what I like about these heaters, is they're safe indoors. All right, so next up we got some water, and I got some food grade buckets here. So the water I did pick up, and those buckets I did pick up. So I added a couple more buckets to my prepping pantry. I had a little bit of room. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that, my prepper pantry video. I'll leave a link in the description or in the video where you can watch that. But I pretty much I keep all of my staple foods like rice, beans, flour in the 5-gallon buckets. And I just picked up like another, 75 pounds of flour, rice, and sugar. So needed 3 more buckets. So I'm going to be filling those up today. The water here, I did pick up a case. So obviously I have multiple water sources on our property, but these little bottled waters are something that my family and I use a lot of, especially when I'm working. I go through these bottled waters like crazy. This aquatainer here is something that I just fill up, especially when I know we're going into, if something comes up and I think things might start getting hectic in our country, I'll go ahead and fill up pretty much all the water containers that I have. I have a couple 55-gallon drums and then these aquatainers as well. So I keep those just in case there's power outages and we need to access water, because our well, we are on a well, and if there's no power, then we can't access our water. So I always fill up some of these water containers before the winter season, just to anticipate for a power outage or something like that. All right, so next up, I got some defensive gear here, obviously, and I have my bug out bag and a sleeping bag. And obviously, these are the things that I didn't pick up today, but I just placed on the table because they're kind of representative of things that you should be stockpiling now, especially as we move towards this winter election season. So the potential for riots this year, I think, is at its all-time high. So If you haven't done so, make sure to go ahead and stockpile up on this stuff, especially while it's still relatively affordable and available. And definitely don't forget, if you haven't done so, obviously make sure to get bug out bags. If you don't have bug out bags, definitely put together a bug out bag. There's a lot of different sources that you can go to if you want to learn how to put one of these together. I'll leave a couple links in the description if you haven't done that, but for sure, put together a bug out bag and put together a like a system for you and your family to evacuate in case there's an emergency. Also, make sure to have plenty of warm sleeping bags and blankets as we go into this winter season. I think the potential for power outages is going to be at an all-time high, especially as we see a lot of our infrastructure that's failing and all the attacks on the power grids that's taking place. Make sure that you have the ability to stay warm this winter. All right, and last on the list here, I just have some plywood and some 2x4s. And you're probably wondering, what the hell is that all about? Well, I mean, mainly I kind of put it in this list because it represents security. So fortifying your house, fortifying your business, make sure that if you have a business or you live in an urban area, and you need to fortify your home or your business, you're going to need plywood. And if riots start this season, which there's a high potential or high likelihood of that happening, you're going to have a very difficult time finding plywood. I mean, we've been through this multiple times as a country, unfortunately, and it's one of the things that we know becomes scarce as if riots start or civil unrest starts. So get plywood now while it's still cheap. This piece of OSB was definitely not as cheap as it was this summer. It had gone up actually $5, and I talked to the lady at the counter and she said, it actually just came down $2. So you saved a little bit, but I think as we approach this winter season, you're gonna start seeing things like 2x4s and plywood and screws start going up in value. So buy this stuff now if you think that you might need to fortify your home. I went ahead and got this because I know that the price is cheap right now, and I have a lot of more shelves to build, not in my pantry, but in my garage. So I'm going to be building some shelves this week, and I also keep the plywood and the 2x4s to build like shields to keep the snow away from our firewood supply and away from our house when the snow builds up. So I hope that there was some good stuff in here. Let me know in the comment section if there's anything that I may have missed. I know there's always something I missed. Actually, I'm seeing what I missed. It was the fuel. So definitely stockpile fuel. The fuel is one of those things that you're going to want to have on hand, especially if you're in an urban environment and things start getting chaotic because of whatever, and you need to skip town. The gas stations you're not going to really want to have to stop for anything. So to have enough gas or enough fuel on hand to get you out of a hostile environment quickly without having to make stops is huge. Also, if you're reliant on propane, go ahead and get propane. It also makes a great backup fuel source in case the power goes out and you need to do all your cooking on your outdoor barbecues or outdoor cook stove, stuff like that. So definitely stock up on that, on fuel now, and make sure to keep your additives in your fuel canisters to stabilize the fuel. So now I think I'm done, but yes, let me know in the comment section if there's anything you think I may have missed here. Hopefully this video helped you out, and if you can add anything, let me know. And if you haven't done so, make sure to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel. And until the next one, stay prepared.